I found my wife's secret videos and watched her ruin us. The rain had been relentless in Seattle for 3 solid days, a cold, steady drizzle that turned the city into a gray, soggy blur. It matched my mood lately: dull, restless, stuck. My name's Ryan Thompson, 36, once a decent sales rep until the company downsized me out of a job 2 years back. Now I haul boxes at a warehouse, come home with sore shoulders and a paycheck that barely covers the rent. My wife, Claire Thompson, née Harper, is the bright spot, or at least she used to be. 8 years married, and she's still the sharp, blonde firecracker I met at a dive bar near Pike Place, all wit and charm. She works as a marketing coordinator, a mid-tier firm downtown, always juggling deadlines and schmoozing clients. Lately, though, she'd been off, distant, distracted. It started a couple months ago, late nights at the office, more corporate meetings than usual. Big campaign coming up, she'd say, breezing through the door of our creaky little house after 10, her umbrella dripping on the hardwood. She'd flash that tired smile, peck me on the cheek, quick, perfunctory, and head straight for a shower. I didn't think much of it at first. Stress, I told myself. We'd weathered worse: my drinking spiral after the layoff, the fights over bills, her tears when I'd stumble in late. We'd patched it up, found a rhythm again. Or so I thought. That Wednesday, I was slumped on the couch, a half-empty beer sweating in my hand, scrolling through job listings on my phone, anything to climb out of warehouse hell. Claire rushed out, her heels clicking. "Late meeting again," she called, wrestling with her umbrella. "Don't wait up, babe." The door slammed, and I noticed her purse still on the counter, unzipped, spilling its guts, keys, a hair tie, her cherry red lipstick. I smirked. She'd always been a mess with her stuff. I picked up the lipstick, twirling it in my fingers, then spotted something else, a second tube, mauve, wedged under her wallet. Odd. She never wore that shade, too muted for her. My stomach gave a little flip, but I shoved it down. Probably a coworker's, I figured, maybe that slick manager she'd mentioned once, Mark Grayson, always bragging about his corner office when I'd met him at her holiday party last year. I tossed it back in and slid the purse into a drawer, forgetting it. Friday rolled around, and we had dinner, takeout Thai from that spot on 5th she loved. She laughed about some office drama, something about a junior analyst named Sam Carter botching a presentation, and leaned over the table to refill my wine. "I love you, Ree," she said, her voice warm, her hazel eyes catching the light. I believed her, felt that old spark flicker. Saturday, she left her car keys behind, said she'd carpool with colleagues for a team brunch. I found that mauve lipstick in her glove box later, half-used, cap scratched up. "Scatterbrain," I muttered, tossing it back, not connecting any dots. Sunday, her laptop started acting up, screen flickering like a dying fluorescent bulb. "Can you fix it?" she asked, batting her lashes over breakfast. I shrugged. Tech wasn't my forte, but I'd back it up and haul it to a shop. She hugged me, her perfume sharp and familiar, then grabbed her coat for another meeting. "See you tonight," she said, and she was gone. I didn't suspect a thing, not the late nights, not the lipstick, not her smile that didn't quite reach her eyes anymore. I wasn't wired for jealousy, not after 8 years of trust. But that was about to change. Sunday afternoon dragged on slow and quiet, the rain tapping a steady rhythm against the windows while I sat at the kitchen table with Claire's busted laptop. She'd left hours ago for another one of her meetings, her voice breezy as she kissed my forehead and promised to be back by dinner. I didn't think twice, just grunted a "see ya" and turned my attention to the flickering screen in front of me. Tech wasn't my thing, but I figured I'd back up her files before dropping it off at a repair shop. I plugged in an external drive, started the transfer, and leaned back with a beer, expecting nothing but spreadsheets and vacation pics. Then a folder caught my eye buried deep in her documents, labeled private. No password, no lock, just sitting there like it was waiting for me. My thumb hovered over the trackpad. 8 years married, you think you've got a right to peek, right? I clicked. Inside were videos, dozens, timestamps going back 2 years. My gut twisted, but I told myself it was nothing, maybe work stuff, presentations. I opened the first one. The screen flared to life, and there she was, Claire, my Claire, in our bedroom, the one we'd painted blue together 3 summers back. She was laughing, her blonde hair loose, wearing that silk robe I'd gotten her for Christmas. But she wasn't alone. A guy leaned into her. Dave, my college buddy Dave Miller, the poker night regular with the loud laugh and crooked grin. The camera wobbled, he was holding it, filming as he tugged at her robe, her giggles turning low and teasing. My beer slipped, splashing across the table. I paused it, hands shaking, and opened another. Same room, different night. Mark, co-worker she'd mentioned in passing, smirking as he pulled her close. Then another. Claire in a club bathroom, strobe lights flashing through the cracked door, sandwiched between two tall black guys I didn't know. Her screams were heard louder than the music in the club. I froze, my face hot, my breath short. There were more 8 videos total, each a punch to the gut. Dave, Mark, strangers, all in places I knew, all with her. I dug into her Facebook, hands trembling as I scrolled her messages. Flirty chats with Mark, late-night plans with Dave, emojis and winks I'd never gotten. She'd been at this for years, right under my nose. I sat there, pale, staring at the screen, the room spinning. Yesterday, she'd cooked me dinner. Lasagna, my favorite, smiled across the table, said she loves me. Now this. I wanted it to be fake, a prank, a deepfake, anything but real. Maybe she was coerced, drugged, my mind scrambled for excuses, anything to unsee it. But the truth stared back, her voice, her laugh, her hands on them. And the videos, why record them? Why keep them? Was it a thrill? A trophy? I'd been a mess after losing my job, drinking too much, shutting her out. Had I pushed her to this? Or was she just cruel? I couldn't breathe, couldn't think straight. The laptop hummed, mocking me with its secrets, and I copied every file to my drive, my fingers moving on autopilot. Claire would be home soon, all smiles and lies, and I had no idea what to do. Scream, leave, pretend I hadn't seen it. My head pounded, a mix of rage and disbelief, but one thing stuck, she'd filmed it all. Every betrayal, every laugh, preserved like she wanted someone to find it. Maybe me. I closed the laptop, wiped the beer off my hands, and waited, the question burning, what the hell had I done to deserve this? The next week was hell, but I played it cool. Claire came home that Sunday night, all smiles, carrying a bag of groceries like nothing was wrong. Missed you today, she said, pecking my cheek while I stood there, stiff, the laptop's secret searing my brain. I mumbled something about fixing it, handed it back, and watched her set it on the counter without a flicker of worry. She didn't know I'd seen the videos, didn't know I'd copied them. I kept my mouth shut, nodding through dinner, chicken and rice she'd thrown together, while my insides churned. Her laugh, her I love you over dessert, it all felt like a lie now, but I swallowed it down. I had to know more, had to see it with my own eyes. Monday, I called in sick to the warehouse, said I had a flu bug. Claire didn't blink, just left for work with her usual "see you tonight." Tuesday, she mentioned a corporate dinner next weekend, some restaurant gig with her team. Might be late, she said, casual, sipping coffee. I nodded, forcing a smile, already planning. That week, I barely slept, replaying the videos in my head, Dave filming her, Mark grabbing her, those club guys. I didn't cry, didn't yell, just sat with it, letting it fester. Saturday came, and she left at 6, dolled up in a black dress and heels, hair pinned back. Team bonding, she called it, blowing me a kiss. I waited 10 minutes, grabbed my keys, and followed. I parked 2 blocks from the restaurant, a swanky Italian place downtown, slouched low in my beat-up Honda, hood up, watching the entrance. My hands gripped the wheel, knuckles white, my phone ready on the dash. I didn't know what I'd do. Barge in, confront her, start a scene? My head was a mess, imagining her inside, laughing with Mark, maybe Dave, maybe someone new. An hour passed, then 2. Couples stumbled out, drunk and loud, but no Claire. At 10, I saw her. Arm hooked with Mark Grayson, her slick-haired co-worker from the videos, and Sam Carter, a lanky guy from her team I'd met once at a barbecue. Sam had a goofy grin, Mark a smug one. They piled into Mark's sleek Audi, Claire in the back, and peeled off. I followed, heart pounding, keeping my distance. They stopped at a brownstone 10 minutes away, Mark's place, I guessed, from the way he swaggered to the door. I parked around the corner, out of sight. Claire knew my car, and crept closer on foot, sticking to the shadows. A fence blocked half the view, but I crouched low, phone out, camera rolling. Through a gap, I saw it, Claire on the couch, Mark kissing her neck, Sam tugging at her dress. She laughed, loud and sharp, then pulled Sam closer. They moved fast, her dress hit the floor, Mark's shirt followed, and soon she was between them, loud enough I could hear it over the street noise. I filmed it, hands shaking, zooming in as proof. These were guys I'd shaken hands with, Mark at that holiday party, Sam over barbecue last summer. Claire, who'd kissed me that morning, was there, lost in it, like I didn't exist. I wanted to scream, to smash something, but I just kept recording, numb. My mind raced, she'd lied, planned this, but why? Was it me? The drinking? The fights? I didn't get it, but watching her with them, I knew one thing, I wasn't letting it slide. The video hit 5 minutes, and I stopped, slipping back to my car, my breath ragged. I'd seen enough. Now I had ammo, her with Mark and Sam, clear as day. I didn't know why she'd filmed before, but I was filming now, and I'd make her pay. I drove home from Mark's place in a daze, the phone burning a hole in my pocket with that fresh video. Claire, Mark, and Sam tangled up on his couch, caught raw and unfiltered. My hand shook on the wheel, my jaw so tight I thought my teeth might crack. The house was dark when I got in, Claire's perfume still lingering from earlier, mocking me. I didn't sleep, just sat at the kitchen table, replaying it all. Dave filming her in our bed. Mark in the same spot weeks later. Those club guys in that bathroom, her voice cutting through the noise. And now this, Mark and Sam, live, like I was nothing. I didn't cry, didn't scream, just let it sink in, cold and hard. It was still Friday night when I hit send on those emails, Mark's video to Lindsay, Sam's to Jen, the whole batch to Claire's coworkers, and the weight didn't lift. I pictured some kind of rush, a sick satisfaction watching her world burn, but instead my chest felt like it'd cave in. The kitchen was dark, just the glow of my laptop screen, the video still open, Claire with Dave, Mark, Sam, those club guys, all looping in my head. I trashed her life in minutes, anonymously, but it wasn't enough. I needed her to know it was me. I needed her to answer, how could she? The front door clicked open at 11, her heels tapping the hardwood. Hey, babe, she called, voice light, like she hadn't just come from Mark's couch with him and Sam. She dropped her purse, flipped on the light, and froze when she saw me slumped at the table, eyes locked on her, face tight with something she couldn't miss. What's wrong? She asked, frowning. I didn't plan it, just snapped. How could you? I roared, standing so fast the chair tipped over. She flinched, eyes wide. What? Don't. I cut her off, slamming the laptop open, hitting play on the club video, her between those two guys, loud enough to drown out the thudding bass. This. And Dave, Mark, Sam, tonight, I saw you. I filmed it, Claire. How could you do this to me? My voice broke, raw and shaking, tears burning my eyes. She went pale, mouth open, no words. I kept going, spilling it all. I sent them every video, to Mark's fiancee, Sam's wife, your whole damn team. You're done. Everyone knows. But why? Why film it? Why keep it? She stared, then laughed, a sharp, bitter sound that made my skin crawl. You sent them, she said, stepping closer. You bastard. You wanna know why? Lisa. My gut twisted. Lisa, my ex-wife, a ghost I'd buried. What about her? I growled. Don't lie, she spat. 3 years ago, I found your texts, her thanking you for letting her stay here, for helping her move. You said it was a coworker. I smelled her perfume on your coat, Ryan. You slept with her and hid it. I shook my head, fast. I didn't. She stayed one night, nothing happened. But it sounded thin, even to me. I kept Lisa's secret, didn't tell Claire I'd been married before, didn't mention that night Lisa crashed here during a storm. I didn't believe you, Claire said, voice cold. You broke me first. So I broke you back, Dave, Mark, anyone I wanted. Filmed it so you'd find it one day, feel what I did. I stared, the room spinning. You're insane, I said. I didn't cheat, you screwed half the city. She shrugged, eyes hard. And you just ruined my life for it. Guess we're both trash. My hands balled into fists, my throat tight. I'd lied about Lisa, hid her, but this? This was a knife in my back, twisted deep. "You're sick," I choked out, grabbing my keys, my jacket. "I'm done." She didn't stop me, just stood there, blank, as I stormed out into the rain. I drove to a motel, checked in with cash, sat on a lumpy bed with my head in my hands. She stayed in that house, alone, her phone probably blowing up with fallout, Mark's breakup, Sam's divorce, her job toast. We'd both crossed lines, me with lies, her with revenge that went nuclear. I didn't forgive her, she didn't beg. By morning, I'd head south, crash with a friend, start over. She'd go her way, carrying the wreckage I'd made. No winners, just two people who'd torn each other apart. That night, Lisa's shadow, those videos, my emails, would stick with us, a stain we'd never wash off.